This video is brought to you by HockeyMonkey.com, your one-stop shop for the best prices on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. Be sure to use coupon code HR4U7 at checkout to receive 7% off any order.
Hey guys, Josh from HockeyReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review of the Warrior Dynasty AX1 shoulder pads. This is the top-end shoulder pad on offer from Warrior. They retail for $130 US and honestly feel really good. They have a lot of Warrior-specific technologies and a fit and feel that I would say is different from anything else that I've personally ever worn. So with that being said, let's get right into the review. First off, I want to talk about the overall fit and feel of the Dynasty AX1 shoulder pads. I would personally describe the fit as open and very non-restrictive. Now what I mean by open is that the shoulder pad doesn't fit very close to your body. Of course it sits on your shoulders and it's very comfortable because of these two little pads right there on the inside. It's like a nice soft memory foam material and it's very comfortable, like I said, sitting on your shoulders. But the front area, the back area, the shoulder caps themselves, even the bicep guards don't really hug your body all that closely. They remain in place, but it doesn't have that tight, restrictive feel that you can get from some other high-end shoulder pads. Of course, this is not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It really depends on your own personal preference. But I would say that if you're one of those people, like myself, who doesn't necessarily love the feel of shoulder pads and doesn't like to be restricted in any way at all, you're going to like the feel of this particular pad. I put them on, and yes, it feels like you're wearing shoulder pads, but at the same time, when you move your arms around, it's almost like you're not wearing anything at all, in that there's, like I said, no restrictiveness whatsoever, just because it does have a slightly roomier fit to it. And that's also not to say that I was wearing a size that was too big for me. I'm 5'11", and the pair that I wore for testing is a size men's medium. So if anything, I could realistically go up to a large if I wanted to. And like I said, they just have a very open feel about them. It's by design, and this is also largely due to the fact that there's a lot of open segments and lots of adjustability to this particular shoulder pad. So if you did want them to fit ever so slightly tighter, you could get that with all the adjustability you have in the straps, mainly here around the bottom area, where you actually can adjust the strap on both the front and back of the shoulder pad to make it however loose or however tight you actually want it to be. And of course the bicep guards, you can make them sit a little bit higher on your arm, a little bit lower on your arm. It is fully adjustable. But other than that, like I said, the front plate, the back plate, they're well segmented, so it does wrap with your body, contours your body, I should say, pretty nicely, but at the same time doesn't have an overly tight fit. So again, if you want something that's going to offer plenty of protection without being too tight and without being too restrictive, you're going to like the feel of the Dynasty AX1s. When it comes to overall protection, you're going to get a lot of coverage from the Dynasty AX1 shoulder pads. Because of the high volume fit of the shoulder pads themselves, you're going to get a lot of coverage in both the chest area as well as the back, just because of how wide the face actually is. You're going to find that on the front, you're going to have a plate right here. It's almost in a Y shape, without the middle part cut out, obviously, of a very high density foam. It's extremely hard, almost plastic-like, but until you feel it and squeeze it with your hand, you can tell that it isn't actually plastic, but nonetheless extremely protective. And then you have these little hang-off pieces of a much softer, spongy foam, but still have a really decent thickness to it. So for the most part, you're going to get really good protection against pucks or hits, or whatever it may be on the front chest area of the guard itself. Now moving on to the back, again, you have your high-density foams protecting your spine and your spongier foams kind of hanging off the side, giving you maximum coverage across your entire back. So again, protection is good on both the front and back of the guards themselves. Now moving on to the shoulder caps, this is where you're going to find a little bit of Warrior-specific innovation and Warrior-specific technology, I guess I should say. This is a Smart Cap shoulder cap. Kind of a tongue twister, but basically it's made up of 4 different layers. The first layer, or the top layer, which is what you guys see right here, this is your white nylon material with your Warrior branding, and it has kind of a medium density foam underlay. Under that first layer of foam is where you're going to find the plastic cap itself for the shoulder cap, and then under that, lining that plastic cap, is going to be your smart cap technology, which is essentially the compressed HD foam gasket. That is this gray foam you see right here. It's a very hard, high density type of foam. Reminds me a little bit of EPP foam like you might find in helmets, and basically that lines that plastic cap. So you have a layer of foam on both the inside as well as on the outside of the plastic cap. Basically in order to ensure that you're going to get maximum protection whether you're receiving or making a hit. And then of course on the underside of that HD foam gasket you're going to find your liner itself, which features kind of a nice spongy soft layer, again just providing maximum comfort when you're wearing the shoulder pad. So in terms of the shoulder caps themselves, I would say that they're about medium in size. They're not overly large, they're not overly small, and they kind of stick up a little bit. Like I said, there's not a whole lot of volume to the shoulder caps themselves, but for the most part they definitely will provide plenty of protection for you. You also do get your bicep protection, as you guys can see. It is fully adjustable and it is two pieces. They have basically a medium density foam with a plastic cap on top. You can make them sit a little bit higher into the shoulder cap themselves, higher up your arm, or have them sit a little bit lower, which is what I did most of the time, just because I like the more non-restrictive feel when they sat very, very low. They're only held on basically by one nylon strap, as you guys can see. In terms of extra protection other than that, you do have these kind of high density foams going here around the collarbone area, which is a very common type of injury for hockey players. And then of course moving around the back, you do actually have some high density foam in this contoured kidney pad on both the inside, on the left and right side. So it is perfectly even on either side. And again, that's a lot of extra protection that you wouldn't normally have from a lot of other shoulder pads. So again, maximum protection I would say is what you're going to be getting from the Dynasty AX1, especially if you want something with more of a high volume fit that's going to cover a large area of your chest as well as a large area of your back. There's no open spaces or anything like that. So if that is something that interests you, then again, the Dynasty AX1 shoulder pads are definitely something to consider. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Warrior Dynasty AX1 shoulder pads. I have to say I really like these, and I wasn't expecting them to like them as much as I did just because of how large they appear. But like I said, when you actually put them on, they have that nice open feel that I've personally never experienced before, and it does make for a nice amount of maneuverability, and you also feel very safe. There's lots of coverage with this particular shoulder pad. They sit very comfortably on your shoulders. The Vortex liner I found in particular was really, really nice, and of course it does have that polygene coating, so it is supposed to remain odor-free. And from what I can tell so far, it definitely has done that for me. And like I said, if you're looking for something with a very non-restrictive feel, but at the same time is going to provide lots and lots of protection and lots of coverage, then this is a shoulder pad that you should definitely consider. Now, if you guys are interested in purchasing a pair of these for yourself, you can definitely check out the link down below in the description of this video. There will be a buy now link along with an exclusive HR4U7 coupon code, allowing you to pick up these shoulder pads below that $130 retail price. So again, if you're interested, be sure to check it out down below in the description of this video. If you have any questions regarding this particular shoulder pad or any suggestions for pieces of equipment that you'd be interested in seeing a review of, be sure to leave a comment down below, and I definitely will have a look at anything you guys have to say or suggest. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for more reviews on all the latest and greatest hockey gear. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.